Well, I began making this particular tape for my Uncle Carlos, and I thought it'd be easy to do. But I found out that it was easier said than done. To start with, I found out that I'm not very good talking in front of a camera. Second thing I found out was I'm not very good about playing the banjo in front of the camera. I can sit around and play a particular song 20 times without missing a note. Get in front of the camera, I start missing notes everywhere. Now with that said, there's 3 different ways of playing the banjo. The old-timey way was called clawhammer style. That was played by Uncle Dave Macon, string bean, Grandpa Jones on hee-haw. And basically what you're doing is you're strumming the banjo with the back of your fingernails. And I tried that style and never did really pick up on it. Now I play what you call the Scruggs style. Now his style involves playing within the chord patterns. Every 3rd and 5th note is a melody note. The rest of the notes are fill-in notes. That's why if you play Earl Scruggs style and you play the song slow, you can't hear the melody because you're hearing the fill-in notes instead of the melody. So you got to learn how to play it faster. Now the 3rd style playing is called the Bill Keith style, melodic or chromatic style, where every single note is a melody note. Now he came out with that style in the late 50s, early 60s, and it's for a reason. When you play the fiddle, every single note on the fiddle is a melody note. So he came up with a style of playing where it was very easy to change a fiddle tune into a banjo tune because every one of them's melody notes. Now a lot of people ask Earl Scruggs why he didn't play Bill Keith style, because it supposedly is the hardest style to play. And Earl Scruggs said that just wasn't his way of playing. And like the old saying goes, takes 2 people to play the banjo. One person to play it, and another person to say, that's not the way Earl played it. So I stuck with playing Earl Scruggs style. I made this tape for my Uncle Carlos Taylor and his wife Janet of Robson, West Virginia, who I love very much. Carlos was the first one to introduce me to music. I was visiting my Grandpa and Grandma Taylor's house of Mulberry, West Virginia, when he brought up a guitar, and I'll never forget how he played the Wildwood Flower. So I became interested in playing the guitar. And it wasn't soon after that Daddy bought me a guitar, and I learned how to play it a little bit. Well, on another visit down to Grandpa and Grandma Taylor's, Carlos brought up a banjo. And I believe he played Cripple Creek and some other songs. And when I heard the sound of the banjo, I realized then that that was the instrument that I was wanting to play. If it hadn't been for my Uncle Carlos, I probably never would have even started playing the guitar or the banjo. Well, this was my first banjo, and Daddy basically made it for me. I helped him a lot, but he was the one that basically done the work, and I went up on the hill on an old oak tree that had fell up on what we call the strip, but actually it's an old logging road, and I cut me a slice out of an old oak tree that already fell and brought it back. And at that time Daddy didn't have the tools that he did before he passed away, and we basically done it by hand. He helped me carve the neck, which is way too big, you know, too thick, and he helped me put the head in, which is much looser than it used to be. We just used an old pair of pliers, and we pulled the head down, and Daddy would tack it into the inside here. And the tailpiece is made out of an old piece of aluminum we cut with a hacksaw, and it still plays. Don't play good. It stays out of tune, plays down low a little bit, but it won't play up high. It's got wooden frets. Got that pattern out of the Foxfire book. But it was good enough for me to get started playing the banjo. There's a second banjo I made that in my junior year of high school in shop class. They had much better woodworking tools at the time than Daddy did. And so I probably made 3/4 of it, even though couldn't have done it without Daddy, because he was the one that went to the banjo stores and bought me certain parts. For example, he bought me brass frets. He bought me much better pegs. He bought me a much better head. He actually bought me a tension hoop that pulled the head down tight. He also knew a man in trade school that made little things. He made the brackets that pulled the tension head down. And they were very meticulous to make. Had to be somebody that worked in a metal shop. Still no resonator on the back. Why, I don't know. Don't know why we didn't put a resonator on the back. But it still plays just as good as it did when I made it. Plays down low, plays down high, stays in tune, ain't got no strings on it. I'll show you, but that'll be coming up in a little bit. This first store-bought banjo, and only store-bought banjo I've ever had. And one morning I woke up and Daddy told me I needed to go to Pineville with him. And I asked him what for, and he wouldn't exactly tell me what for. And I figured pick a piece of plywood up or something, some project he was working on. He took me down there, and there's a music store. He went in there and bought me this Leo Fender. This is the last year they made this model. And I was plumb tickled to death. Now since then, not much has changed with this particular banjo. Still plays good down low. Still plays good up high. But it does need a little bit of work done to it. Last summer, something strange happened. I was picking this banjo and started making a rattling sound. Well, I thought it was a string or something. Sometimes they do that. They get out of tune and you need to press it down a little harder or tune it different. And come find out, I picked the hole plumb through the head. Right there it is. Used to be down here. Took me 4 hours to take this thing apart, put it back together, turn that head around. But instead of buying a new head, which I will eventually do, went down to the dollar store and bought me some Tupperware and cut me a little slice off. And once I got the head off of there, got me some super glue and put it on the bottom. Works still fine. I believe it may have changed the tune of it a little bit, but still plays good. I believe the next head I'm going to get is going to be a white head instead of a clear head. This song here is a revised version by Earl Scruggs. The original song was Sail Away Ladies by Uncle Dave Macon. Uncle Dave Macon liked to play the banjo down low, clawhammer style. Earl liked to play the song up high. This particular song was first recorded by Roy Acuff in 1942.